something that worked for me, and this sounds crazy, but I interviewed myself for the first time. So when I went through quite a depressive state in my life, I noticed that it was getting quite bad. I was eating a lot more junk food. I didn't really want to leave the house. I wanted to be asleep more than I did awake. And I was going on this slippery slope. So I caught myself and I said, right, I'm pulling an emergency meeting and I'm inviting three people to this meeting: me, myself, and I. And when no one was home, I went upstairs to my bedroom and I had this big mirror and I interviewed myself. And the first thing I said to myself was, we're not going to lie. Because if I lie, I'm lying to myself and I me. So I know when I'm lying, that's weird. How are you feeling? So I explained to myself how I was feeling. You know, my thoughts keep going round in circles. When I'm with my friends, I'm present, but I'm not present. And I sort of labeled everything that was happening to me. And I said, right, do I want to change? Yeah, I do. Do I understand it's not going to be today that I'm going to be happy, or tomorrow? It might not be next week. It might not be next month. It may take me a year, because where I've gone from a happy 10 to a low 2, that's a big drop. If I try to jump back to this happiness up here again, I can fall just as quick. What I've got to do is start to build this foundation and slowly build the steps towards my happiness again. So I understood that if I tried to do a big task or achieve something big, if I failed it, I'm going to feel even worse. So I told myself I've got to start small. I'm in a low place, so start with small bite-sized things that are manageable for me. So the first thing I said was, I'm going to make my bed. Every day, make it as neat as I can, no creases. So if I went out, had a bad day, came back home, opened my door, I would say to myself, I did that. And I'd times that feeling by 10, use my imagination. So I'd have a little joke for myself and I'd say, ooh, no creases in the bed, Mr. Bennett. Did you do that? And this little jokey voice would come out for a split second, then it would disappear. But that was my reminder, he's still there. I need to keep working with that side of Anthony. So then I wanted to start running again. So instead of running 5K, I'd run 6K. And at the end of that 6K, I'll get that little body buzz, that feeling of, yeah, that felt good. Times it by 10, use my imagination. Marathon man's back, woohoo! And that voice would come out a little bit longer. So I saw the growth happening, just working with myself. And then I wanted to get back into work because I neglected reaching out to people to get more inquiries coming through. So I emailed 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 people every single day. And I created this whole pattern, this cycle that went on for about 3 weeks. And then I received an email that said, hi, Anthony, been on your website, love what you do. We want to fly you out. You'll be speaking in front of this many people. We'll pay for your accommodation, feed you, fly you back home. Will you be willing to come? I thought to myself, I've contacted so many people, I've forgotten who this company are. So I went onto their website and it was actually Sydney, Australia. So my biggest ever speaking engagement came from me being in the lowest of my lows. But just by working with myself and again, giving it time, it allowed this amazing opportunity to happen. So now I understand, again, when I'm in my highs, it's temporary. When I'm in my lows, it's temporary. I just got to keep working with myself. So if you're going through a low period in your life, just try to tap in with yourself. Try to get to the core of the root of what is going on. How are you feeling? Tell yourself in the mirror. It sounds crazy, but this really, really helped me.